Let's take it from the top, shall we? I'm going to be doing a Jim's Nerd Nation here.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another one of our, these are kind of becoming a weekly thing now, another one of our Nerd Nation public service announcements. And this one, as the title would suggest, is really about kind of, we're going to call it taking it from the top. First and foremost, I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank everyone within this community that has welcomed me with open arms, from the various fans and subscribers. You're the ones that keep things going with the comments, of course, watching the videos. And then as well to the other reviewers out there, and I'm not even going to get into naming everybody's names because I've certainly, I've certainly talked with, met with, interacted with almost everyone at this point. There's a few that I still haven't, but again, this is, to start out, it's really just kind of me, humbling myself and saying, thank you to all of you who have certainly welcomed me in. Now, the thing that I wanted to talk about briefly here, just to kind of lay the whole discussion to rest, because I have had some of my subscribers send me messages about it. I've seen, topics on other people's videos and things like that, is the whole, I'm going to pull a Jim's Nerd Nation here and do this review this series from the start. First of all, I don't own any type of copyright or trademark to that particular style of reviewing. I'm just a fresh set of eyes that came into the community by happenstance and really, truly enjoyed what I was seeing and initially what I was feeling and reading and everything else, and thought that it would be a neat idea, since no one had ever done it before, to cover something like One Piece, which has been around for 15 years now, and kind of cover it thoroughly from the top. Certainly, you out there, the ones that have read it and are caught up to it where it is, whether it's the anime, the manga, or both, you're not the last ones that are ever going to hear about or get into One Piece. I mean, there's a whole younger generation of people, especially the longer this goes on, that are going to be introduced to and get into One Piece. So I thought, hey, what better way to go and really kind of, do an homage or show my respect and regard for a series like this than to cover it in its entirety in each and every chapter. Now, there's other reviewers out there that have seen the buzz, or felt the buzz, heard the buzz, I guess you should say, and just kind of seen, the positivity that has really come from this. And there's others that are going to try to capture that. Listen, imitation is the highest form of flattery. I believe that's a saying. I know I've heard it before, but truly, just it is. It's flattering to think that something that I came up with is now becoming a trend within the community that I'm now a part of. It's very, very cool, a very good feeling. Now, will anybody be able to kind of capture that same magic as I have? Personally, I don't know, because I'm not them. Okay, and I'm not the viewer watching them, but I do know of a few different people, and I'll put links to their channels in the description. But for instance, I know that that Everything One Piece is doing Hunter x Hunter, from the top, taking it a chapter at a time. I also know that ZombieZebraManga is doing the same thing as far as the Hunter x Hunter. And I'm not going to get into discussion about who started it first, who put up a video for it. It doesn't really matter. It's a great series from what I heard, and if they're both doing it, fine, man. I mean, different strokes for different folks. If you're into that and you want to watch that, you now have two different sources you can see it from. And I've heard a few other reviewers as well that are thinking about or looking into or going to get into that. I'm about to go and take that plunge myself with Toriko, because I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I figured, hey, what the hell, man? I mean, it's, I'm having a good time doing this with One Piece. People seem to enjoy it, so why not do it with another series? Now, I want to make sure that everybody understands, because I don't hold any type of copyright or patent over it, nor would I ever want to. It's just, it's an idea. And ultimately, if it's something that's kind of helping breathe some life into a community, and there's others that are trying to do that as well, again, more power to them, man. I mean, that's great. I'm a fan as well as somebody who reads and reviews these things. So to me, that's just good business right there. You know what I mean? That everybody's getting involved in that. Animerick, I believe, is doing Berserk from the top. And again, like they said, there's a few others that I don't want to name names just because it's not confirmed 100% whether they're going to take on the task of doing it or not. Now, what these reviewers can probably tell you, because they've just recently started this out, is that it is a lot of work. In addition to whatever they do in their daily lives, being able to crank out and make sure that you have a comprehensive review up each and every day it's a daunting task. It really does. I was sick last week for 3 or 4 days. Luckily, I had gotten far enough out ahead with recording my reviews to where it didn't really affect me. But now I'm under the gun again. After I'm done with this, I have to go and read and record a couple more reviews to try to get out ahead again with the holidays coming up. So, certainly I'm sure they could tell you the same thing. It is a daunting task. I think I have been 110, 120 days now, something like that, for about 4 months. I have never missed a day for an upload, and One Piece has been coming out 1 to 2 a day since that period of time. I think we're on chapter 100 and low 180s, I believe it is. So ultimately, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit over here, and I really wanted to get some interaction and some feedback from you, the subscribers. Certainly, I know there's many of you till this day that still send me messages going, do 5 a day, do 3 a day. Why don't you just catch up? Why don't you just do this? Well, I'm not even going to get into that right now and dignify that with any type of an answer. This is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm doing it, and you can choose to either follow along and enjoy and watch, or you can choose not to, or you can choose to wait for a year or so, whatever it may be, to when I'm caught up, and then start following it if you like my particular style of reviewing. What I try to do, though, is I try to go and give you a recap of what's happened in the chapter, and I try to do it while kind of telling a story, in almost a story-like fashion. I try to incorporate my own thoughts, ideas, opinions, circumstances, memories, things like that, values, morals, what have you, into that, and compare it when I can to real-life things or to other particular series. Sometimes they're not even in the same medium or genre. So that's really what I go for with it. And again, will other people be able to do that? I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to keep in it for the long haul, if they'll get bored, if they'll trail off, if they'll get busy. I don't know. I can't speak for others. I can only speak for myself and what I do. But I can tell you that I'm having a ton of fun doing it. And also, because I'm not hell-bent on just trying to catch up to everybody else as quickly as possible, I feel like I'm soaking in more of the story. I feel like I'm gaining more than somebody who just does go through and marathon it, because all the comments and the feedback that I'm getting, hey, Jim, did you notice this? Well, maybe I didn't, but now you pointed it out, so I go back and look at it before I'm too far gone down the line to where it doesn't matter anymore, or it doesn't make as big of an impact. So I really think that those are some great things, and I think it is a neat, unique style of doing things, and I'm certainly just very, very excited and happy that it has done as well as it has, and that there's a lot of people that are jumping on board and saying, hey, man, this is cool, this is a great idea, I'm really enjoying your reviews. So again, totally flattered and humbled in that sense, and excited to see what some of these other reviewers are going to do too with some of these different series, because I'm only one person, so I've had requests to do this with probably 20 or 30 different series, anime and manga. I can't do it, unfortunately. There's only so much time in the day, and One Piece is certainly going to take up a big chunk of that time for a long time. I mean, even at one review a day, we're still a year and a half out from getting caught up. So, but ultimately, I feel that I'm going to put the links to the channels that I'm aware of, the series that, of course, they're doing it from the top in. And I've just heard it referred to as, oh, I'm doing a Jim's Nerd Nation, And then I've seen some discussion about it and some arguments about, oh, well, you can't do that's copying, and that's what. It doesn't bother me at all. I truly think it's a good thing. And just to put that one to rest, again, I don't own any claim to it, and it's certainly kind of a, hey, man, if there's a good idea that somebody brings within the community from me or anybody else, I would expect others to want to run with it, because it's a good idea, and people are enjoying that idea, So ultimately, though, I think the big draw for a lot of people to me is that I am a fresh set of eyes in the community. I'm not this guy that comes in as an expert because I've read over 14,000 different chapters of this and that, and I can tell you the power levels of this guy, and then this imaginary guy can beat up this imaginary guy, and here's all the points and reasons why. There's plenty of people that can do that, and that are already in the community that do that sort of thing. Whereas I'm kind of coming at, and it's almost like I'm the manga or anime virgin, right? I come in and I have this fresh outlook and perspective on things. I don't know about how this is in shonen manga. I don't know how about that. So others are able to educate and teach me, and I'm able to learn, and we're all able to interact as I'm kind of brought into the community and the folds of it and learn the different nuances and things that are there. So I've got a little too long-winded with this, as I usually do, so I will wrap it up over here. But as I said, I do encourage you to go and to check out really any reviewer who is doing something. If it's a series that you enjoy and that's beloved, or that you were thinking about getting into, check them out and see what they're doing. Certainly keep your eyes open too. I'm going to have the Toriko reviews starting up over here this week, in addition to the One Piece reviews, and then of course the other things that I do with Walking Dead, and have to get back to Attack on Titan as well and catch up to that. But I appreciate you watching, and again, just to kind of lay it to rest, just want to make sure that everyone out there knows that there's very, very little in this world and nowadays that bothers or offends me. And unless someone is blatantly going and taking my videos and stealing them and reposting them on their channel to get views, I'm certainly not going to have a problem, nor do I have any problem with anybody else taking what they consider to be a good idea and running with it. So, and again, I'm just very, very humbled and appreciative that the community has welcomed me, and that the idea that I came up with is something that's really taking off. So thanks again for your time, and remember to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and then of course leave your comments down below too, what you think about the whole style of reviewing, just in general, your thoughts on it. You love it, you hate it, you're indifferent about it, and then subscribe if you haven't done so already. We look forward to catching all of you in the next one, nation.
As always, thank you, brothers and sisters, from the bottom of me heart. This here is a picture, a portrait, I guess you'd say, of Jessica Negri. I hope you like it.